A man who ghosts or lies isn't necessarily a bad person. He's not always some manipulative player sitting there plotting ways to hurt you. But what he is emotionally immature. And that immaturity is what stops him from being able to give you the honesty and respect you deserve. See, emotional maturity isn't just about age. It's not about how long someone has been dating, how many relationships they've had, or whether they're old enough to know better. Emotional maturity is about how someone deals with discomfort. It's about how they navigate difficult conversations, how they handle their own emotions, and most importantly, how they respect yours. A man who ghosts or lies isn't mature enough to face his own feelings. So he sure as hell isn't going to be mature enough to face yours. Because when someone ghosts, what they're really saying is, I would rather disappear than deal with the discomfort of telling you the truth. And that truth could be anything. Maybe he's not feeling the same connection. Maybe he knows he doesn't want a relationship, but enjoys the attention. Maybe he's just not emotionally available, but he doesn't want to admit that to himself, let alone to you. So, instead of stepping up and communicating, he takes the easy way out. He disappears. He avoids. He leaves you with questions instead of answers. And lying is just the same thing, dressed up in a different outfit. Lying is about self-preservation. It's about avoiding the awkward moment of disappointing you. Or worse, looking like the bad guy. A man who lies about his feelings or his intentions is just trying to save face. He wants to keep things easy, smooth, fun, without having to actually own up to the fact that he's not being serious. So he tells you what you want to hear in the moment. He makes promises he never intends to keep. He says, I'm just really busy right now, instead of admitting, I'm not prioritizing this. He says, I'm not ready for a relationship, but then turns around and gets into one 3 months later with someone else. It's not because he's changed in those 3 months. It's not because he suddenly became ready. It's because he was always capable of showing up for the right person, and deep down he knew that wasn't going to be you. But instead of owning that and being upfront, he kept you in the dark because it was easier. Because facing the truth would have required a level of emotional courage that he just doesn't have. And I know how frustrating that is. I know how much it hurts to be on the receiving end of that. Because you are showing up, you are bringing emotional maturity to the table, you are being vulnerable, you are communicating, you are being honest, and you assume that because you're doing those things, the other person will too. But here's the hard reality. Someone's emotional maturity has nothing to do with yours. You could be the most emotionally intelligent person in the world, but if he's still operating on the level of a teenage boy who would rather ghost than have a tough conversation, that's his issue, not yours. The mistake we make is trying to teach someone how to be emotionally mature. We think, maybe if I explain how this hurt me, he'll see my perspective and change. We think maybe if I just give him a little more time, he'll grow up. But here's the thing. Maturity isn't something you can hand to someone. It's not something you can give them through patience, kindness, or understanding. He has to develop it on his own. And if he's not there yet, you staying and waiting for him to get there isn't going to change anything. What it will do is drain you